Welcome to episode 41 for Grassroot Basketball Academy. It's been a few days since I've released an episode because, as some of you that follow me on Facebook, follow me on my Facebook Grassroot Basketball page and also my personal Facebook, you realize that I was admitted to the Red Deer Regional Hospital due to this one is right out of the bizarre book where I didn't even realize that this was happening until I got like a CT scan and then something called an echocardiogram. So for all my young folks that have been, following my page and I've had the opportunity to train you guys, I'll tell you this. If you guys feel any pain whatsoever, and I mean this because I wanna be crystal clear on what I'm saying, because this injury and inflammation started from shoulder pain. Shoulder pain then turned into back pain, and back pain ended up putting me in the hospital to the point where I couldn't sleep through the night. And a lot of us like to suffer in silence and don't say anything, but I'm telling you guys right now, if it wasn't for my spouse pushing me to be like, look, you work at the location, why don't you go and get checked out? But to my stubbornness, I decided that no, I'm going to go by the walk-in clinic and, just get a checkup, because I think that's all it is. It's my back, nothing else to it. Beknownst to me, I got to walk-in clinic. They didn't help. I end up going to the Innisfail emergency department. I checked myself in. Weird enough, they were wondering how I'm able to drive, but I was like, it's just that will to be like, I need to figure out what's going on before it's too late. So anyways, I got to the emergency department. They're stumped because they're like, are you diabetic? Like, we don't know what's going on. Like, your blood work is coming back with, different things. And I was like, I know being diabetic travels in my family, but I know for darn sure I am not diabetic, because when you're into this thing called sports and you want to watch your intake versus how much you're exercising, I have been a big advocate of that since before the pandemic started. I think it was 2020. I decided, you know what? Enough is enough. You have control over what you put in your mouth. You have control over what you eat, drink. I don't smoke or drink alcohol, so that wasn't a worry for me. But I can just tell you that with all the, the different foods that you can grab at fast food joints and so on, I limit myself. I even got to the point where, just to show you a meal plan, anybody on this fitness journey, you can do protein, but cut out the bread. Do vegetable and protein. That's what works for me. And I'm not saying that will work for everybody else, but I'm telling you, long story short, when I got admitted in the one emerge, they had to send me back to the Red Deer emerge because this anomaly just wasn't making sense. So thankfully there's a cardiologist that was on call that night, and this was Wednesday last week, which he's like, you know what, I saw your CT scan result, because the CT scan can see certain things that other scans couldn't. And then he did like a ultrasound around my heart area to see what might be going on, because they thought it was something to do with my heart. And mind you, not only being diabetic, but it's a double whammy on my dad's side of things. We have family members that pass away from a heart attack. So with that being said, it's like they ruled out being diabetic, thankfully. Did more blood work. I felt like a sprinkler at the end of this. I'm just going to put that out there, because like clockwork, I was getting poked. And pause, but I mean, like, lab come and take my blood work and take it off to go test it to see what's going on. But the long short of what happened to me while I was in there, and I'm telling you, like, I was still working out. I'd get up at 6 a.m., work out, go to work, come home, go for a walk with my son, It's like a routine thing for me. Like, even on my lunch break, I go for a good 45 minutes walk. And I was trying to figure out why I'm short of breath, because I go for runs, right? And I realized months ago, I did 3 miles and there was a stitching pain in my back. That's when the back pain actually started happening, right? And fast forward to now, I'm like, okay, I have no idea what's going on. So I waited. And when I was admitted and they run a bunch of tests, the cardiologist that did the ultrasound at the last minute there, because he was in the hospital, he came and kind of explained to me what's going on. So I was like, wait, what? I thought this was just a back pain that's going on, because that's where I'm feeling the pain. I'm feeling the pain not in the middle of my back, but to the right. Not where your spine is, but to the right, on the right side of my back. I couldn't even sleep on that side. That's how excruciating that pain was. I got to day number 2, and they said they need to run a procedure. I'll just lay out the procedure for you. The procedure involves them putting a hose in your chest, a small, teeny, like a pin hose, just to give retrospect, right? Put that in your chest. It drains fluid that causes the inflammation, and the inflammation, the terminology for it is called pericarditis. Pericarditis means it's the vessel. It's like a protective vessel that's around the heart and other organs that's beside the heart. So it's almost like a protective layer that's around the heart. So the day that I did the procedure, I had a group call with my siblings. I got to my room that day. I changed from Emerge. Now I'm on Unit 22, where they said we're gonna put you on this unit because we have to observe you over the next couple of days. Within 30 minutes or maybe 35 minutes of talking to my siblings, I had about 800 milliliters of fluid that drained from the sac that's around my heart and other organs in my body. Just keep that in mind. So the doctor wanted to know, as soon as it hits a liter of fluid, they want to know if they want to be notified immediately. By an hour after, getting admitted to a room, they said, oh, we're going to move you. By the time they moved me over to the other room, I have surpassed that liter. So I'd say within the first 2 hours, I was about at 1 point. I might be off by a couple of numbers, but I'd say 1.75 liters of fluid that drained from the sac around my heart, right? And mind you, I'm happy that it's not a heart condition. It's just, from what I got told, it is caused from me being negligent with, like, watching when I get sick. If it's like something that, like a chest cold can cause it. And I'm like, that is bizarre, because everybody gets a cold, right? But for me, when I get a cold, sometimes there is the remedy of, get some cold and sinus, whether Advil or Tylenol. Make sure you drink some tea, some soup, and try to sweat it out and sleep it off, because sometimes that chest cold turns into a fever and so on. Like, I've experienced this most of my life. So that is my remedy that takes care of stuff. So that didn't make much sense to me at the time, but I was like, all right, I'm gonna, I'm not a professional, I'm not a cardiologist, so I'm gonna take the doctor's word for it. By day 4, day 5, and I kid you not, believe me or not, this is what happened, right? I got to the point where the drain that should be draining fluid got down to, from 1.7 the first hour going into the next day, liters of fluid. I'm down to like maybe 400 milliliter of fluid. And the coloration of the fluid has changed, because what happened when they're drawing my blood, they can see within my blood that this fluid that was around my heart is in my blood. The next couple of days of drawing my blood, that fluid is no longer in my blood, and it has been, say day 4. So from Wednesday to like Saturday, no more of that fluid is in my blood when they draw my blood, and I'm trying to figure out, okay, the most of the fluid has now decreased. So because I did, I skip over one part where I did something called an echocardiogram. It's almost like another ultrasound to see how much fluid is left. I think it was on Friday, the lady came by my bedside. Very thankful for that lady. Can't remember her name off the top of my head, but she came by and did another scan. They use a warm gel and scan around the heart tissue and so on. And the fluid has significantly decreased. There's an upper level and a lower level of where the fluid sits, right? The fluid significantly decreased, and it's now down in the bottom half of the sac that surround my heart, where, the inflammation was. Okay, the inflammation is not like a bruise on your body or stuff like that. It's just the fluid built up from, as they said, having a cough or something like that. But I need to research further, because it's my body, and thankfully after doing the procedure I shouldn't encounter this again. That's what they explained to me. So now that I'm in recovery and I'm going through day 5, day 4 and day 5, I'm like little to no fluid coming out, and they want me to have bed rest. Like, I need to sleep as much as possible, because part of this issue that I had was I get winded easy, and it's because the heart wasn't pumping like it used to. It's not able to have a regular heartbeat like it used to. So it was kind of strange to me, because I'm a very active person. Anybody that personally knows me knows that I love to go play basketball. I like to go for a run, and the fact that I couldn't run, I started going for a walk. And even going for walks, I mean, like 45 to an hour worth of walking, I'll be winded, but I still go for that walk. Day 6, which would be, I think that comes down to Monday, I got told that they need to run another echocardiogram, because this would be my third one, mind you. So I'm excited. I'm like, yeah, let's see how much fluid is left, because I'm itching to get out of there, because I start feeling my energy coming back, my strength coming back. So I'm like, okay, we're gonna take the bull by the horn and see where this leads us, right? I got to the end of the day, because one thing when you're in a hospital, you get a lot of chance to reflect. And thankful for some of my colleagues that I work with in the Red Deer Hospital. They came by and visited a few times, and shout out to my brother Wada, actually came with his dad and visit for a couple minutes. But I'm telling you, like, everybody that, I don't know, maybe it's a Canadian thing, maybe it's just something that people don't value. I value those moments, because it shows you who really cares. You know what I mean? Not because we work together, but they actually showed up and show out. So with that being said, day 5, I got the other echocardiogram done. This should be on Monday. And I'm like, okay, let's see where things is. Let's see how much we're progressing. I thank God, because by day 5, the top half that had fluid, no more fluid is there. The bottom half that had that fluid, it's like little to none. There's still a little bit there, but it's little to none. But like I said, I'm not draining anything out from the procedure that got done to drain stuff out. I got to day 6 now, and the doctor that's actually working days says, you know what, you're not draining much fluid. This was my thought process, but I was like, I am not the physician, so I can't force this issue. He said, you're not draining that much fluid. We're thinking that because most of the stuff that drained out did it in the first 2 hours. And and that's not all the fluid that came out, because when I did the procedure, they drained about, I would say, probably 300 or 400 milliliter of fluid. And then they sent me up to the room with the thing to drain more. But the doctor that came on day 6, he said, we're going to pull that hose out that was draining the fluid, because we can't get anything else out. It's just trickles right now. Little to nothing is coming out. I mean, in 24 hours, on day 6, I got like 10 milliliter, 10. And I'm not exaggerating. Like, I asked the nurse, how much did you get? Because each time they come and drain the sack that keeps the fluid in there, they have to like bang it on the cup that they're draining it into just to get fluid out. So day 6, the guy decided around noon that he's gonna pull the hose out. I didn't know. I was half passed out when I got the procedure done. They didn't fully knock you out, but you're sedated enough you can't feel all of what they're doing. And I took pictures of it, so I have kind of pictures of what it looked like after the procedure was done. When I got the guy to give me some meds so they can pull out the hose, I kid you not, I don't know if any of you guys that listen to my podcast ever step into like an ant's nest. It felt like there's a million ants around my heart when he's pulling the hose out, because it's right beside the tissue, right beside the organs. And when he pulled the hose out, I'm like, he pulled it out to the point where he had to cut it, and then he had to use a tweezer and pull it out, because I said the hose is so tiny, it's like the size of a pin. So he pulled the hose out. It got to the part where the hose is fully out, but there's a thread that was, I don't know, like I said, I don't know why they do the things they do, but it's very life-saving. So they pull the hose out. There's a thread that's left there, and each time the guy pull on that thread, because he got most of the thread out, but not all of it, right? I said, Doc, I don't know what's going on, but it feels like you're literally pulling on my heart when you're doing that. Because as I said, I was sedated for when they take it out, but I wasn't fully knocked out. I wish I was knocked out so they could just get it done. But I'm telling you, each time he pull on that thread, a thread that you'd sew clothes with, that was left in my chest. Each time they pull on that, it felt like the guy's pulling on my heart. So I don't know if it's because, there's an open wound in my chest that's trying to heal, but there's a thread there with blood on it. So just imagine you get a cut, and the cut is so big you have like stitches, right? But it's at a weird spot on your body where if they pull on it, you feel as if somebody's pulling on like your ears or your eyeball or something like that. That's how the nerves is connected down there. And I'm telling you, each time you pull on it, it felt like same feeling like you're stepping into an ant's nest and the ants is just crawling all over your leg and you can feel it. It felt like when he tug, it felt like the ants just hang on to that thread and be like, no, I'm not letting go. And it's like, no, you need to let go. And it just tug. It's like a tug of war, right? And I was like, oh my gosh, you gotta give me more drugs or something, because I can feel it. But each time he tug, I didn't realize that it's slowly coming out. And it's been sitting there for day number 7, right? Because it's the next day that he did the procedure, because that's the only thing holding me in the hospital at this moment. So as soon as he pulled out that thread, I said, thank God that thing is out. Let me know when I can get discharged, because I am ready to go. I mean, like within 2 hours after I pulled that thing out, I was in the bathroom, like cleaning up, getting ready to get picked up by Christine and head home, because I'm like 7 days. I love the care that I got given at the hospital. Like, I can't complain about the care that I got given. Like, it was great professional care that the nurses perform. I just have some disagreement about stuff on my medical chart, but that's for another episode. But I get to the point where I'm like, you know what? I'm thankful for all of you guys to give me this opportunity to recover and get my strength back and, be able to stand on my 2 feet and be like, you know what? With the mercy of God and the care that I got from the nurse, Christine checking up on me each and every day, it was helpful for me to get recovered, because I was in my head for most of those times. And to bring it back to sports a little bit, think about when you're trapped in a scenario where you can't buy a bucket, you can't make a good pass, and it just feels like you're all over the place. That's the mindset I was in. I was in my own head. And I got to the point where I got to be like, you know what, I got to pivot. I have to pivot and think about something else while I'm in this moment. So I start reading, and got to about chapter 4 in a book that I've been trying to get through, because it talks about, and for all your basketball fans out there, I'm telling you, this is a huge part of your basketball journey, to corral and calm your ego. Because the book that I'm reading, I'm getting no sponsorship from this, but I'm still gonna announce it because it really helped me in this time. It's called "Ego Is My Enemy." The ego of a man, also some woman, is very fragile. So the least little thing you can do to make sure you corral or calm that ego is the best thing you can do for yourself. So I'm telling you, like, even in one of my darkest moments that I was in the last 7 days, I made sure I prayed. I made sure I stay steadfast on, thinking about, okay, when I'm out, what am I gonna do? Because it gives you a lot of time to reflect. So with that being said, I'm gonna wrap this up and just let you guys know that I'm home. Post a picture yesterday on my Facebook to prove that I'm out walking about, and I'm not walking with a cane or anything like that, or I need a walker at my tender age at 42. But at the end of the day, I'm thankful that I'm able to come and give you guys this message that, look, it doesn't matter if it's a muscle cramp, a back pain, a spasm that you've been feeling for a while. Think about it this way. All your muscles are attached. All of them have a nerve that attach back to the central system of your body. And like I said, if it went from a shoulder pain to a back pain, and I end up in the hospital getting told that I have pericarditis because there's an inflammation around my heart. And I didn't take it as serious as I should have taken it. But now that I've been through it, I know better. So all my fans out there, all my basketball people, any pain that you're feeling, it's worth you taking the time out to be like, look, I've been feeling this for a while, but I've been negligent to come and get it checked out. Even if you have to go to rehab, it's better you go through rehab and you come back stronger, because each time something is broken in your body or something gets damaged and you let it heal properly, you come back stronger. So I'll leave you with this message. It is 10 times harder for you to recover if you're down to the point where you can't even walk. But if you catch something like I caught mine early, thankfully. I caught mine early. So it's easy for you to recover from something like that, because you never know what's going on with your body. And your body have tell signs that say, hey, I'm not doing that great right here, man. You need to change up something. And out of everything, I can tell you that I'm surprised that I gave up coffee for a week and 2 days so far, because I haven't touched, like, funny enough, even when I'm in there, they're providing you breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And the breakfast comes with coffee. And I'm like, I have to write on my lunch order and my dinner order and so on. I'll take a tea, if you can provide a tea. And I drank tea like it's like I'm from England, and tea is like a good pastime for me. I drank a lot of tea. So I'm thankful that I'm home, thankful that I'm here with the kids. I'm not in a hospital anymore, in a hospital bed, trying to recover from the pain that I'm feeling. And I can give my testimony on this. So from my experience, I'm telling you guys, you can reach out to. There's a lot of way to reach me on social media or wherever. Just reach out and let me know, hey, I've been feeling this pain. What do you think it is? And my honest advice is go get it checked out. Because you never know. You never know what's going on with your body until you get it checked out. And sometimes you might surprise yourself. It could be something easy. It could be something that, you didn't remember you got hit in a game and that pain has just been in your back or in your side for a while or something like that. So saying that to say this, thankful that I'm home. Glad I'm able to give this message out to you guys. And it's really a public announcement and giving my testimony alongside the public announcement. But appreciate all of you guys for tuning into each and every episode. I'm still looking for some support for the upcoming stuff I have in store. I will announce it on my next podcast, but I just wanted to give a shout out to everybody that has reached out through social media, by phone call, and I'm thankful for my siblings to, even through this tough time, giving me a smile on my face, calling and checking up. And it's mostly jokes and laughter, which laughter is one of the best medicine. So, for all my siblings that reach out to them on Facebook, not reach out to them, but give them a shout out on Facebook. I'm thankful for you guys because, with you, Christine, and everybody that has popped in and give me a visit, I'm thankful that I have those good people around me that to keep me grounded and be like, you got this, man. You're just going through a rough patch. You'll bounce back like nobody else. So I'm thankful for you guys, and stay tuned for future announcement. I will keep you informed on what's coming up, what we're going to be doing, and I will catch you in the next one. Thanks for tuning in to Grassroot Basketball Academy podcast, and I will keep it short and sweet, but thank you guys again for tuning in, and see you in the next one. Thank you. Have a great day.